Hey, welcome back. Another live stream for Text Adventures, part 4 of Tristam Island. I'll just check everything's running alright. Hopefully I'm actually streaming this time. I did it earlier today, like in the afternoon. Clicked start streaming YouTube, but then I minimized the window and it didn't actually click in to start streaming, which I thought it would. Even though it's minimized, you think the browser would still do it. It's obviously not. So I was there talking to myself for like an hour. I was saying to Adam, get well soon. I said to James, happy anniversary. And I said all this stuff, and I got through quite a bit of the adventure. Got to a point that I couldn't work out where to go next. Came out, then it started streaming, and then I ended it, and then it was 15 seconds of live stream. So it was just a bit mental. So hopefully this will go through okay. Now this time, obviously, I'm not playing it blind. I've been playing it earlier today through that live stream that failed. So it might be a bit quicker, but it might mean that we actually get a bit ahead of what I did earlier, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I hope everyone's alright. It's getting nearer and nearer to Christmas, so you got all your Christmas stuff, you know, all your Christmas shopping done, all your Text Adventures bought, all your Zap annuals, Crash annuals. Oh, incidentally, if you know about Crash from the ZX Spectrum, there's a Text Adventure section in it, and that's really cool. I got it, I think it was yesterday, and I had a look through it, and yeah, the adventure trail is in there, so that's pretty cool. So just bring the game up. So yeah, so that's where we were at the end of the last episode. We'd got to the mansion, and we haven't really tried to get in yet, but I think that's the next port of call. There was something else I thought of as well. There's a couple of shops that we saw earlier that you couldn't get in through the front door, but he said you could see through the window, so I'm thinking, well, if we try and smash the window with something, that might be that'll you know, hopefully we'll be able to get into the shops through there. Also, I think we need a screwdriver, but I'm not quite sure, because the panel here has got the panel. I just get rid of that. If you examine the panel here, it kind of, where are we? Keypad. Examine the keypad. Oh, hello, Spec. You alright? Yeah, that's crazy. That is. It's funny when you're streaming and all your alarms go off, and then it's like, oh no, there's no power left. I have to shut down, and you're there turning all the lights off and stuff. That's really cool. That's a great. You should show what your setup is like. You know, do it as a little behind the scenes maybe, because I'd certainly be interested in seeing it. But yeah, yeah, KOTOR, that's pretty good. I've never played it back in the day, but I'm into, you know, I like Star Wars and stuff. There's a couple that I played back in the day. I think one was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, and then what's the other one where you're running around the Death Star? It was probably like a 386 MS-DOS game. I'll know it when I see it, but anyway, so yeah, that'd be cool. I might have to check that out, as long as it's not too late, obviously with the time difference. So yeah, Dark Forces, that's it, got it, spot on. Yeah, that was a crazy game. When that first came out, you know, you're shooting like lasers and stuff, but it actually sounded like the film. I'm sure they sampled it out of the film. Yeah, cool. So yeah, with this, the keypad was the next stage, because it says, where does it say it? The metal plate has rusted over the years, but the screws holding the plate haven't. So to me, it's like That's indicating there's something you can do with the screws. And also there's a door to a house that's quite close to here, a little shacky kind of house. And it says that the hinges are on the outside, which again points to getting the door off the hinges by unscrewing the hinges. So that's something I want to focus on as well. So yeah, so we're stuck on a desert island basically. We've found like remnants of life there. You know, it's been inhabited before, but it seems to be that the people disappeared, and it's kind of based on datings. So the dates of some of the coins you pick up, bits something in the pub, it kind of indicates that it's maybe like the late 50s, early 60s is when people left. So okay, let's have a look. Yeah, it's worth getting, and you can get the Z machine. If I'm saying that right, the actual like the interpreter code to run on an interpreter. So you could probably run it on Linux, you know, run it on your machine. But you know about all that technical stuff. I don't. I just run the pre-packaged like Amiga. It's running on the Amiga, so it's running it pre-packaged. Yeah, so trying to escape. Found various buildings. There's a high tower, like a lookout tower with a kind of a radar on that looks across to another island that is close by. So there's a lot of things to think about and look at. So for now I want to keep an eye out for a screwdriver. I want to try and pick a rock up or something. I don't know if it is a rock, but something that will be able to smash the windows in the shops, because I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff in there that we can steal and use in other places. So okay, so we head back across the field. So where the mansion is kind of blocked off with an authorised personnel only perimeter, but we managed to get in there. I've just got to remind myself of the geography a little bit. So we've just gone west and we're going north. Power generators is something else I think we need to concentrate on to try and get power back onto the island. Have a look. Is it northwest or west from here or something? Basically I'm heading to, there's a place where there's like a lookout to the north of the island. But they're the two shops we've just gone past to it that we're going to try and break into. So that's west and then I think north. So a lot of these locations I'm skipping through. Anything new that we see I'll read out, but we've been here before, so I'm not reading these ones out. So I might have missed it. I might have missed where we go north. Sure, it was near the pub. Go southeast to the pub, and then is it north from here? Can you actually type in this? Can you type exits? No. Okay. We come round in a circle. We're back to the small shop. Ah, there we go, the scenic views. This is where we found the fire. I seem to remember there was, so there's two things here. There's a few chunks of wood and they look dry enough to set a light. So I'm wondering if eventually we'll need to light another fire for something. Okay, and it says rocks are arranged in a circle. So I didn't notice this the first time, but there's no object here called rock or rocks. But if you get the rock, then I'm guessing it will, brilliant. So it's let us pick up a rock. So there's kind of two variants of objects. There's those that are blatantly obvious that you'll see as an object. So if I drop the rock now, and then if you do a look, it'll come up as an object, but before it wasn't. So I quite like that. Some objects are hidden within the descriptions. I think that's a really good way of doing adventures. Right, so we've got a rock, so I'm guessing kind of, we can smash the windows to the shops. So if we go back south. The other thing was the generators that was playing on my mind a bit. In the kitchen of the pub, if you'll see in the inventory, we found solidified oil. Now I don't know if we could melt that and use that to power the generators. I know it's a bit of a long shot, but to me it's either something to do with like lubricating a door hinge or something with the oil, or we can melt it to try and get the generators going. So we are, yes, it's 1 foot by 1 foot, so it's quite a lot. So this is the first shop, the small shop, so you can examine the window. This is a small shop with a wide window allowing you to peek inside the shop. The window has been painted with a crude logo displaying Harry's earthly pleasures. So it's got a few things inside. So smash window with rock. You lift the rock above your head, then throw it against the window as hard as you can. The window of the shop shatters in a terrible noise. It makes you feel bad for a second before you remember how dire your situation is. Brilliant. So that thought process worked okay. So enter shop. Oh, okay, it's presuming the door. Enter shop through window. Enter window. Cautiously climb inside through the shattered window. Oh, I like that. You can also see a large rock here. So obviously it's traversed, it's gone from the location you were in through the window into the shop. We'll get the rock, and you'll see a rusty sixpence here. Get the rusty sixpence. Now this is a recurring theme which I haven't worked out. If we examine the sixpence, you'll see that we've got 4 of them at the moment. So I'll just pick the rusty one. So that says 1960. And then if we look at the, the shiny one, 56. So they've all got different dates on. So this will date pretty much where the people left the island. Let's have a look. Damaged. So that's 1959. Okay. And then we've got I think we've got a shilling as well. That's 1960. You'll see that something happened in roughly in 1960. Okay, back to the shop, right. All sorts of goods that were probably imported from the land for people here to buy with whatever disposable income they had. There's not much left on the shelves and the counter, but you see 2 packs of cigarettes, a lighter, some binoculars, a pack of gum and a comic book. Now will be a bad time to start smoking. You'll be addicted to nicotine just as you finish smoking the second pack. Yeah, and then you won't be able to get any more because there's only 2 packs. Okay. Get lighter. Oh, source of fire. Brilliant. So we've got that possibly with the wood. I like how the interpreter as well, it shuffles stuff around. So it knew that I couldn't pick the lighter up without putting something in the backpack. I like that as well. So let's have a look at the lighter. This is a small lighter. You flick it and it seems to still work well. That's handy. Binoculars. That might allow us to see the island better, the other island. Examine. Should be able to do examine it. This is a small light. Okay. Because normally it is used to describe the last noun that you used, but in this case it looks like it's jumped back to. So it's not actually. It hasn't remembered, if you like, binoculars. Examine binoculars. These binoculars look like they are in great condition. That's good. What else was in this shop? There was gum. Well, I said earlier there's loads of different versions of this game. There's loads of different platforms you can run it on. And I realised something you can do in this version, which is the Amiga version, is type ahead. So you know, you can put something in, and then you know, once I typed that while that was coming up, so it's quite good if you want to kind of make progress. You don't have to wait for anything to come up. So we got some gum. That's good. So chewing that would make me think it will go gooey. So you'd be able to do something with some gum. I don't know what, but I'm sure there's something if it's part of a puzzle. Not much left on the shelf, so I'll get the comic book. Okay, why bother? You don't really see the value of it. In fact, it's probably worthless. So if we examine it, this is Pt.4 from the 1st of November 1961. See, that dates it as well, so we know it's at least the 1st of November 1961. Something happened for the people to disappear after that date. It must be the first issue, as it proclaims, featuring the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, Invisible Girl, together for the first time in one mighty magazine. Some green mutant is emerging from a street, while the four heroes talk to each other in various poses. I like it how when you get the comic book it says why bother, you don't really see the value of it. I'll stick that in my pocket and put it on eBay. I'm sure you could get quite a bit for that. Right, so let's have a look. I think we've cleaned this particular shop out. Okay, just presuming the door. Oh yeah, it was unlocked, of course it was. But why is... Can we unlock it from the inside? Is it a deadbolt? Yeah, okay. Open the door. Exit. And then go to the wood shop. Smash window with a rock. You lift the rock above your head, then throw. Oh, okay, so it's the same text. You feel bad, but then you remember your situation. Cautiously climb through the shattered window. Looks like the island had its own woodworker. who was making or fixing furniture and wooden objects for the island. A smart strategy. There is, after all, a pretty extensive forest on the island. There is a sturdy looking table in the middle of the workshop, as well as a few cylindrical wood pieces, all of the same length, and a saw on the floor. You can go out through the door. So I'll get rock and shiny shilling. That was 1960 as well. Yeah, it says smart strategy. There is, after all, a pretty extensive forest. So we went in the forest in episode 1 and 2, which you can see in the playlist. So what else is here? Oh, wood pieces. Examine pieces. See, that to me, we found a ladder that needs completing. The bottom rungs are missing. So I'm wondering if this is... There are three cylinders of exactly the same shape and length. You wonder what the use for these could be. And and then it comes to you. These are replacement rungs for the broken ladder at the radio tower. Okay. That's quite good how it references something back in the adventure, rather than you having to physically do it. Like I just did. I thought, oh, rungs, wood. The game's actually doing it for you. That's interesting. I'll get pieces. You can download the demo as well if you want to have a go on it. Although obviously this is past where the demo finishes, but you know, it's like a couple of quid. £3 maybe, and you get so much enjoyment from it. Right, so let's... There was this saw as well, wasn't there? It's a handy saw, useful for cutting wood and not much else, so we probably need that somewhere, or possibly need that. Maybe even for the rungs, for the ladder rungs. That's interesting, it changed the description from wooden pieces to ladder rungs. But yeah, maybe they need cutting with the wood. And that's it here, is it? Nothing else, no other nouns, no other objects. Oh, there's a table. To do that. Right, so it's similar to the pubs in the tables in the pub. Saw table. Okay, it's not a verb. Well, maybe you don't use the saw to saw something then. Okay, so probably the same mechanic here. We unlock the door. Open door, is it? Yeah. And exit. Now we've got the lighter and the wooden rungs, we can either try lighting the fire, see what that does. I'm not sure about that because I'd like to have an idea of why we'd have to do that. So I'm going to go back to the observation tower. That was to the west of here somewhere, in a westerly direction. Maybe it's... down to the garden. Oh, well, maybe it's south, so yeah, maybe it's southwest. Oh, steel tower. It's fairly close to the steel tower, which is the southwest. Base of the tower. So if we examine the ladder, so it's missing a few rungs. It's also got a metallic mast at the top, this tower, so it doubles as a radio tower. You insert the rungs you found in the workshop into the ladder holes. You have to find the right angle to get them in, but they fit perfectly. The ladder is now fixed and ready to use. Fantastic. Shall I try sawing the ladder? Saw it up into bits so we can't get up there. So if we go up, you climb up the ladder and reach the top of the steel tower. Top of the tower. Oh, someone dropped a screwdriver here. Brilliant. So the guessing then is right. We're guessing about a screwdriver. Let's get that. Seems like a standard slightly rusty flathead screwdriver. Its head is rather small. Okay, hopefully that'll work. The platform at the top of the tower is rather small. A low barrier runs around the platform, giving a very wide field of vision. From here, about 20 feet off the ground, you can see the village very well as the white house behind the fence. The view of the sea is incredible. You can see further away, including the small island towards the southeast. You can climb back down the ladder. So, can we look through binoculars? You take a look at the island through your binoculars, and your intuition was right. Tristam Island looks rather inhospitable, covered in rocks and rubble, with patchy vegetation that doesn't look more than 2 feet tall. But near the shore and on the sand in the lagoon you spot a few black trunks, as if the trees have been destroyed, charred, a long time ago, and hadn't managed to grow back since. Something must have happened on that island, but you can't quite figure out what. Your intuition tells you it's important though. So it's almost like the character needs to find out, or you know, it's part of the background story is what happened on the island. Now to me, because it's an island in the sea, it's like an atoll. That is exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, a nuke test site. Now, at the same time I was thinking that, it's like, yeah, but didn't that stop in like the 1950s? I mean, alright, this is fiction, but I'd hope that they'd stick to it a little bit. But I'm wondering if, yeah, I think you're right, a nuke site, and the ones that went off above sea level, so it would like destroy trees. Yeah. So I'm hoping there's a few more clues about what's what and what happened. So, okay, so we've got the screwdriver now, so still got 2 options. I want to go back to the pub as well. I want to, because we got shillings and there's a jukebox there, and I seem to remember it saying put money in. You could put money in to play a song, so I wanted to just try that. Can't remember if we did that last time, but we'll try it now. And in fact, yeah, the layout is almost like military, going back to the nuclear test idea. So, right, so we've got to find the pub. Oh, that's interesting. The pub is mostly engulfed in darkness, although a little light is filtering through the windows. I'm sure last time we came here it was lit. We saw tables in the jukebox. Oh, we're carrying a torch, aren't we? And I bet the torch was just on from using it previously. Yeah, okay. Didn't realise that the first time. See, I don't think we looked at everything in here, thinking back. The map on the... yeah, we didn't. It was just the jukebox, then we went into the kitchen and then we just missed this bit out, missed these objects out. So the map on the wall displays 2 islands. The largest one is called Kingsley Island. To the southwest is Tristam Island. You contemplate the geography for a few seconds, then it strikes you. The large island is the one that you are on right now. Ah, so we're not actually on Tristam Island. Ah. No doubt about it. The plateau, the forest, the cliffs, the roughly circular shape. So now you know that you are stuck on Kingsley Island, and Tristam Island must be the charred, destroyed, mysterious island you saw through your binoculars. You wonder if you can find out what happened there. Yes. So even there it's harking back to when we used the binoculars. So if we'd have examined the map before using the binoculars, that might have been slightly different. That's quite... I like that. So what else was there? There was the map and the sheet. There's a notice board or a sign-up sheet. The notice board hung to the wall is made of cork and has a single sheet pinned to it. The title typed on the top reads Community Garden Shifts, and the rows below are for the month of February. Oh, the month of February. Thursday the 1st, Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, etc. 1 or 2 people have signed up every day until February the 18th, at which point only 1 person signed up, then nobody else for the rest of the month. Strange. Okay, so February the 18th. February the 18th, there's no year, but we can probably work that out. 1961 from the comic, pretty much. When we, at the beginning, when we looked at the keypad, wasn't 1 and 8? Wasn't 1 and 8 part of the 4 figures that the wires were connected to? What I'm thinking is it 18 something? Does it give us an actual day? Oh, February, so 1802, 0218. Possibly, I have to remember that. So, yeah, so the point of coming here was I did examine it, jukebox. I did examine it before, but let's have a look. The note tape below the window next to the coin slot reads 1 song 6p, 3 songs 1 shilling. Put shilling in jukebox. No, I'll put the shiny shilling in because the other one probably won't work. The only song a switched off jukebox can play is 433 by John Cage, and you've already heard it before. Weird. Is that a real song? Is that something I'm not aware of? Or is it like a default song that somehow a jukebox can play if it's not plugged in? Or is it a joke? I don't know. So, okay, so there's nothing there. Okay. So the 2 options was the screwdriver and the fire, lighting the fire. Now I've just realised I referenced something. Yeah, we do need to restore power, definitely. And I think that's to do with the oil. To put it in the generator, but I can't work out how to. We're carrying oil, like a block of oil. I know it's a long shot, but it's the only thing I can see. There's generators that are empty of. Yeah, we'll have to find the coconut oil. But I mean, do they run on whatever oil this is? I don't know, but I think we're on the right track there. Yeah, Jenny, coconut oil, cooking oil, that kind of thing. Maybe there's another object that we need to mix in with it, but we'd have to melt it. Yeah, I will do. Coconut actually is my favourite. I like it when it's in a drink, but I hate it when it's in those bounty bars. I think that tastes awful, but I like natural coconut. And those things are like, well, they make good cups, but the shell is like really strong. It's stupidly strong. But yeah, I'll put that on my things as things to watch. Is it on Netflix? Do you know, or Amazon? Yeah, I'll have to look at that. So I'm gonna try and use the screwdriver first of all on the door with the hinges on the outside, I think. Centre of the village, outside the pub. Central village. The east is the house, is the fence, isn't it? Yeah. So we've gone too far. Small shop. House by the cliff. Kind of here somewhere. Overgrown garden. Okay, there's a house to the south. That's the small house. Houses by the town. Okay, yeah, this is it. It's sort of plaza in the village. The houses look similar, except for a door to one of them looks different from the others. Much cruder. Yeah, I think the time of crude oil and all that, you know, carbon burning shit in your car, I think that's gone, you know, that's at its end now, I think. Ah, yeah. There's other stuff to use to power to get stuff to move, easy. Coconut oil, yeah, I'll have to look at that. I mean, I know you can use it in suntan lotion, but that's, and food. But yeah, that just sound interesting. Started with bow and arrow. Started out basically with bow and arrow till. Yeah, I mean old tech. Really, 1900? I think I saw, and I don't know where, it was something to do with like the first electric car. It was like 19, like you say, it might have been 1902 or something. And it looked like a car. And you know, the battery wasn't like massive, it didn't have a, you know, I mean, I'd be interested to know why they didn't progress that. Because it is, I think, you know, like you say, I mean, and what you're doing as well, it shows that solar power works. It shows that you can pretty much live off the land if you've got the space, you know, for food, I'm guessing clothes is maybe a bit more difficult, but so your food, water you can potentially get from the rain. I don't know, you know. Yeah, it's all very kind of, you know, the human race, or what do you call it, civilized human race, for want of a better word, has really got like stuck in a rut. You know, that people like think that's the norm, that's the only way to go, you know. Or we drive cars, we use plastic like no end, all that bullshit, you know. Yeah, I think there's a lot that we can do to stop fucking everything up, excuse my French. Hydrogen economy, yeah. Money causes decisions, not sense. Yeah, totally agree. What's ICE? ICE. What is that? I should know it. Industrial Revolution, or oh, internal combustion engine. Got it. Yeah, internal combustion engine. Yeah, ridiculously inefficient design. Anyway. Yeah. So the coconut oil revolution, internal combustion engine. Yeah. It's mental. So yeah, I'll put that on my list. I'll have a look tonight actually. So what I'll try now is just to get the door off. We should just have a web chat talking about that. You know, how to live off the land, and kind of like the history of where we've gone from, well, the last 130 years probably. You know, back from through the Industrial Revolution. I reckon that could be quite interesting. Yeah. So look at. I'm just going to examine the door. The door looks rather unique, as if it had been hacked together using only the resources of the island. The other doors look like standard doors that must have been made in a factory and imported here. Interestingly, the hinges are positioned on the exterior of the house here, so yeah, I'm going to unscrew hinges with screwdriver. Hey Gamer World, you alright? Just been talking about pre-1900 tech, like, you know, like going through talking about oil and combustion engines and stuff. Through playing this adventure, it's harking back to like, what can you run generators with? It doesn't have to be traditional, I don't know, crude oil or whatever you put in, or petrol, I guess, or diesel, sorry. You know, you can run it off other stuff like coconut oil and things. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I might think about putting a chat together for that. So I've just took the door off. After that, it's only a matter of lifting the pin out. You do the same for the two other hinges. The door then wobbles free, you catch it before it falls to the floor, and then prop it up against the side of the house. So have I still got the screwdriver? It doesn't disappear. Good, I've still got that because I want to use it on the keypad. So if we have a look at the house, enter house. This is a small house with only the bare necessities. A bed, a small nightstand, a few chairs, and a bathroom. Life here was decidedly rather Spartan. There is a book on the nightstand, The Only Way Is Out. So this is like some of the other houses we've seen, very sparse, and it looks like they ate in the pub rather than having like a dining area. So I'll just get and examine the book. Judging by the cover, this looks like a science fiction book. So it's the only book you've seen so far on the island. You hope there is more. Oh, you'll be reading this one for years. The title is Kensington Gardens by Brian Moriarty. Never heard of it. No, me neither. Unless it's a play on words or just an unknown or a lost in the mists of time science fiction author, I don't know. And I'll get the rusty shilling as well. You see, yeah, picking up shillings and sixpences is quite a theme, so I'm wondering if there's going to be a puzzle to do with that. So what else can we do in here? There is a book on the nightstand, so the description hasn't changed. So am I carrying the book? And you see the book. Oh, 4'33", yeah. Yes, yeah. That sounds like that's a good idea. It could tie in with something to do with height, because I don't use feet and inches that often. Inches is 2, isn't it? 2 little dots, and feet is 1. So yeah, you're right. Kind of a yeah. And also seeing 4'33". That's quite a weird way of writing it. So it's like it's directing your brain to that number. You know, why isn't it 7'3" or whatever? Yeah, bear that in mind. So I think there's a lot of numbers flying around at the moment. I'm just trying to work out, because I did take the book. Oh, I can't scroll back, I don't think, but I did have. Yeah, I got the book, and then I examined the book. Okay, so that's an issue. Like I say, this is the first version. I because of the save state, because of saving the game, I can't really start on an updated version with all the, like, some of the bugs taken out and the you know, where descriptions are changed. So this is an older version. So if you do download it, do get the most recent update. So the book, I'm guessing now that same as the other houses, yeah, if you examine anything, pretty much anything, it will come back with a generic answer, apart from that one. But yeah, if you examine, what is it, bathroom, for example. So get the nightstand. No, because we've got the wood saw, haven't we? Cut nightstand. Cut nightstand with saw. Okay, we would achieve nothing by this. Yeah. Weird thing is, we've got a wood saw that says it's good for cutting wood. It's good for cutting wood. Does it say sawing wood? Oh, it says good for cutting wood, because it doesn't understand saw as a verb. Okay, so I think that's everything in there. So again, we carry on back to where the mansion, where I'll try and undo the keypad. Now, I realised earlier that I mentioned something that I'd played on the playthrough earlier today that didn't get transmitted. I did an hour's live and it didn't stream. So I just referenced something then that I'd actually seen then, but we haven't seen yet. Oh, actually, yeah, read the book. Judging by, oh, okay, so it's the same. Yeah, so that's the same as examine. Good idea. So we'll head east. Northwest, we can follow it northwest. We go through the fenced area, through the field. So this was like an authorised personnel only area. Just examine the keypad. Yeah, the metal plate has rusted over the years, but the screws holding the plate haven't. So let's unscrew keypad. With screwdriver. Oh, is that what the reference is? Infocom. Got you. Yeah, I recognise the name when you say Brian Moriarty. Wonder what the Kensington Gardens is. Could that be a name of one of the adventures? Unscrew keypad with screw. Okay. So this is where we have to, because it's in the backpack. Alright, yeah, it's in the backpack. So we have to. It's a shame that it doesn't automatically pull it out of your backpack and swap an object like that, but when you do the unscrew, put in the, yeah, okay, so let's do that again. This is a flathead screwdriver and the screw is cruciform, Phillips head. But you give it a go anyway. It ends up working rather well as the screwdriver is small enough to fit in the screw and turn it without stripping it too much. You managed to remove the front plate, brilliant. A bunch of wires and connections appear behind it. So we've got wires and connections. You follow the wires under the buttons to try to see where they go. There's a few pieces in the circuit you're not sure about. One of them is connected to the wires for the numbers 1, 2, 5 and 8. This is the bit I referenced before. So what I'm saying is it looks like those numbers are used somehow, and I've tried different combinations while the other wires end up somewhere else deeper in the circuit. So it's almost like, I thought maybe it's a year, but the biggest year you can make is 1852, which doesn't tie in with any of the coins. And I've forgotten the number we saw earlier that I said, oh, that could be, was it 18 something? Yeah. See, I think there's a few more clues somewhere where I have to write the numbers down. 1852. Yeah, 8125. Could be any of these. Okay. Move the front plate of the keypad to study its wiring closer. Pull wires. Can we just destroy it? It does actually say, oh, thinking back to what you said, low spec, you did say earlier the keypad would only work when there's power. Yeah, I bet we need to focus more on that now. I bet you we can't do anything more here. So it probably is one of those numbers that we've just typed in, or another combination, but we need the power for it to actually work. So the only other thing I can think of doing is go back to the vantage point and light that fire. Because I'm thinking melt the oil in the spam can. I'll just examine the fire again. No fire has been lit here for a very long time. A few large rocks are arranged in a circle, and chunks of wood are in the middle. The logs look dry enough to be set alight. Next to the fire there is an empty can of spam. So if you examine spam, you've seen that before. But if you try getting it, you'd rather not. It's garbage at this point. So it's garbage at the moment, but it looks like possibly we'd need it in the future. So I'm going to just bite the bullet. I'm just going to light the wood. Light wood with lighter. See, that worked. That verb-noun combination took it out of the backpack. The logs look dry enough to be set alight. You use your lighter to burn some of the smaller bits of wood first, then keep working on it until the logs are on fire. What I want to do, something you can actually do is examine sky. I want to see if it's going dark. No, okay. I wondered if, because we've done so many puzzles, it's kind of getting to dusk. So maybe somebody would see the lit fire. Okay, so we've lit that. Doesn't understand melt. Make oil. You'll see we've got the solidified oil. We've got the spam can. Put spam in, put oil in can. You'd rather not put anything in a can of spam that's been open for that long. Oh, is there actually spam in there? I thought it was an empty can. Can of spam, that can spam. Oh, but it all rhymes. A can of spam, that can spiced ham. That really doesn't taste very good. Oh, I see. A wartime delicacy, as Thatcher famously said. The British Army sure ate their share during the war, but you're guessing that if you're on an island in the middle of nowhere, trying to feed dozens of people for months on end, you don't have many options and you have to resort to it. Spam, oh yeah, I've talked about this before, spam is nice. The menu here probably resembled the one in the Monty Python sketch. Maybe there are fewer Vikings around though. So it doesn't make that clear. Is it just referencing the name? Because that's the tagline for spam, wasn't it? A can of spam, that can spiced ham. I don't know, is it a tagline? What I'm getting at is there any spam in it? Empty can. Open can. Cut can with saw. Okay. Oh, we need some brain power now. We definitely have to get the generator started. Spam. Was wrong. Rusty sixpence. Tell you what, we'll go and have a look. So I don't think this adventure allows you to get into a place where you can't complete it. I think that fire now is permanent. Touch wood. What I'm going to do is, if we go back to the generators, we'll have a look at them. It's been a while since we looked around there. We're outside the pub, so the generator should be somewhere around here. Near the fence, wasn't it? Oh, John Cage, guy sits at piano for 4 minutes, 33 seconds of silence, audience applause. No way. Does he play anything else, like 6 minutes of silence? Oh wow, never realised that. That's quite cool when they put stuff like that in these, in adventures. Make you look out, make you dig out information. that's genius. Got to look that up. Hence why it's basically telling you we need to turn the jukebox on, we need power. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, what year was John Cage from then? Was he like from when pianos were more, when they were grand pianos, I guess 60s, 50s maybe. That, yeah, a lot of today's music is a bit pants. The popular music is. Yeah, exactly what my parents used to say to my music. So let's have a look. North from here. Southeast. No. You're roughly at the south of north. Huh? Edge of the plateau where the forest starts. The trees are rather tall and branches grow over the fence. You're guessing they weren't so tall when the island was inhabited. You can follow the fence northwest or follow the edge of the plateau towards a few houses. Yeah, northwest. You are standing by an open field behind a fence. So come on, power generators of the island. Okay, this is what we were looking for. Imagine if you'd sold an LP or a single. Like the single wouldn't have anything on it, it'd be just flat. Wouldn't have any, you know, it'd have no, well the grooves, it'd have grooves in, but they'd be very boring. Dirt path leads to a small area off to the side, behind some shrubs and close to the fence closing off the White House. Here 3 green machines stand tall. It looks like they used to be the island's main power source. Power generators are all connected to a central tank, which will be filled presumably with diesel to keep the lights on and hopefully power the radio tower. Restarting them will give you a good chance of being able to call for help. So I think, is there any more information? I mean, are they partially full? The imposing green diesel generators made of metal are here. The sticker, which is almost peeled off, says Lister diesel power generator 12 horsepower. The generators seem to have been modified to all get their fuel from the central tank, also painted green. They have seen better days. The paint on the flywheel is chipped and the crank shows some corrosion. Hopefully you can get them to run for a few hours so you can find the island's radio and send a call for help. It doesn't indicate if they're partially full. Wheels are very heavy and it's quite the effort to start turning the crank unit. You turn it for a few rotations but nothing happens. Even after you flip the small lever on the generator, which in theory should start injecting the fuel, still nothing. Okay. You start fire under tank to melt oil. Light oil. Yeah, maybe we need something to actually... Ah. So do we have... I'm just going to go somewhere else. I want to see what light oil does in another location. I'm wondering if... Okay, so it's not location dependent. Because I'm wondering if we go back to where the fire was, we could melt it there. But then I don't get how we transport it, so... Yeah, it's not... yeah, I can't just melt it, so I need to have it in something. So, is there anything we can take from here? Get tank. Yeah, I think we need a container to go back to where that fire is, to melt it there. I mean, I was thinking the spam can, but that would take us about 500 moves to go backwards and forwards to fill it up. So what have we got that we could use as a... anything there as a container? Oh, I can't even think of where we might have seen something as a description. Oh, okay, yeah, this is probably for later on. Tank looks empty. Okay, so put oil in tank. using the cooking oil as fuel is a good idea, but the generators run on liquid fuel, not solid. So is it going to let us just drip it in? Start fire. See, now I'm wondering if lighting that fire has buggered it up. Should I have brought the dry wood to here? Or can we get dry wood from the forest with the saw? Dry it out in the sun and then do it like we did with when we cooked the fish. Or see, there's that table in the wood shop as well. I think what I'll do, I'll stop it now. It's been a good hour and nearly an hour and a half, but we've got quite a few things to focus on. We'll have to go around looking for wood. So I think we've worked out the syntax. You know, put oil in tank, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's okay. It's good to be on the streaming side rather than watching you. Good to, you know, give it back. But yeah, if you're online, I've got your bell dinged, so I'll get a notification if you do decide to do Knights of the Republic. Knights of the, what's it called? What's KOTOR? Knights of the, I don't remember. I just noticed KOTOR. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Like I said, we've got a few things to focus on, but we'll do that next time, and I'll put a recap in the description. But yeah, cool. Well, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars, yeah, 2003, got you. Yeah, I knew it was something. Knights of the Old Republic. So yeah, check out Low Specs channel if you want to see that live. He also does text adventures as well. A lot of like Infocom stuff, and he's running it on Linux. So he's running it on proper kit, you know, rather than like Windows. But anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.